This is a question I kept getting asked over and over and over again. So I decided to make a video about it because I want to begin before I even answer this question about how does the narcissist feel when they realize they lost you. I want to begin by asking you what the number one reason is that you want to know. Before we get into how they feel, and I promise you we will actually cover that, but I want to ask you, what do you intend on doing with that information? Because if you are here to think, okay, they do feel badly when they realize they lost me and I should go back and get back together with them, then you are probably caught in a trap of weaponizing your empathy against yourself, which is literally one of the number one narcissist's favorite tricks to use against their ex. They love when they can make you feel empathy for them because they can manipulate you with that empathy. And so it's really important for you to recognize that yes, a narcissist often suffers when they realize that they lost their ex, but does that equate to all of the suffering that you have felt by staying in a relationship with that person, all of the times they might have lied or cheated or manipulated or exploited or totally lacked in any kind of empathy for you and your situation? Is that going to make all of those moments okay? If I sit here and I say to you, okay, yeah, they do feel a little bit badly when they realize they lost you, you have to really sit there and check in with yourself, because people who date narcissists have a massive pattern, and you can let me know if this is you in the comments down below. They have a massive pattern of getting into relationships and staying in relationships with people who don't empathize with them because you forgot and usually unlearned how to empathize with yourself. So you're tremendously empathetic with everybody in your life except for you. And that is literally part of what makes you the magnet for the narcissist. It's actually part of what often attracts you to this person, because we're often attracted to people who express our unintegrated and disowned traits. And so the narcissist who struggles to empathize and who's very self-oriented often is very attracted to, and vice versa, somebody who is extremely empathetic and has no relationship or very minimal relationship to their ability to consider their own feelings and their own needs. I got so many requests for this, and I was like, I put off making this video for a very long time. I was like, I'm not gonna make a video about this. And then I was like, no, you know what, I will, but I'll make sure that we start this video by getting you to check in with yourself and ask yourself, why do I want to know? Do I want to get into the same old trap for the maybe 100th or 1000th time where I say, oh, now I feel bad for this person, I pity them, and I use that pity to again violate my own boundaries, again disown my own needs, again pretend that my feelings don't matter and only this person's does, and then go back into the relationship with this person again? Because just because somebody is hurting when they realize they lost you does not mean that they are ready to pour into a relationship, change their patterns, show up in a healthy way. And you need to be able to tell that really stark difference. Okay, so I will get into the video right now. I know that was a really long, monologue at the beginning here, but I can't stress the importance of the awareness of that enough, okay? How does the narcissist feel when they lost you? I'll go through 3 major points. First thing is that narcissists actually have a very hard time walking away from people they've actually built an attachment to. And so what they will often do is they will transform the form of that attachment into something negative. What I mean by this is, let's say this is your ex and you are, going through a breakup with them. They will often try to find some way to link themselves to you on a very ongoing basis. If you were living together, they'll find a way to drag out that situation. You shared ownership of something like a car or dogs or a vehicle, whatever it is, they will try to drag that process out, because at a subconscious level, when they actually do attach to somebody and do feel some deep sense of care for a person, at a very subconscious level, the narcissist has a very difficult time letting that go, okay? So what they end up doing is they do feel a sense of loss, but a lot of times the loss is a reaction to losing supply rather than healthy love, because just as much as they struggle to give healthy love, they also struggle to receive it. And so they're constantly blocking the healthy ebb and flow of love that generally happens in more securely attached relationships. They don't know how to be vulnerable. They see relationships as very much a power struggle that always has a winner and a loser, rather than this equilibrium of giving and receiving love and protecting each other and having each other's back and trying to empathize with each other's feelings and attune to one another. That's not really a very well understood thing for the narcissist. And so they see this losing you as this loss of supply and this loss of like the power struggle of who had the upper and lower hand in the relationship. And it's really honestly tragic that somebody has to live their whole life feeling like relationships are a winner and a loser, because that's a very difficult thing when love is supposed to be such a pure connecting thing where we have empathy and we can be seen and we feel safe and comforted in it. For somebody to not really have access to that or to even understand what that should look or feel like is obviously tragic. But again, I say this and then I'm like, do not weaponize your empathy against yourself. Please, please promise me. Let me know that you're not going to do that. And then, what ends up happening is the narcissist ultimately does this very big thing that is so common for them. They often don't even recognize that they're doing it. And it's that they rewrite the story of what happened in a way to control the narrative, give themselves a sense of control, and to protect themselves. This rewriting of the narrative is like their armor that they put on, their protection. So if they know that they hurt you, for example, they will rewrite it to make you the bad guy. This is often where that smear campaign comes from. And they will do this with such precise and intense commitment to it that they often don't even recognize that they've rewritten the story. The story is so true to them. The new version of the story and who hurt who and who did what is so true for them that they often end up making you the enemy, which is actually part of what causes them to keep reinvesting with you long term. Before I get to the very last piece here, I just want to let you know, if you have been through a relationship with a narcissist, and if it has been a really painful dynamic for you, there are usually really strong imprints that happen at a subconscious level. You go through a tumultuous relationship and you make it mean that you're unworthy and not good enough and bad in some way because they've made you the bad guy, or you make it mean that you're always going to be abandoned or betrayed. And so there tends to be a lot of core wounds, and you can break those core wounds. You don't have to carry how that person affected you from the past into the present and into all of your future relationships. And if you want to check it out, it's literally free. It's a gift for life. If you've been through this, you can check out our core wounds rewiring course. It helps you find what core wounds, painful past relationships have given you at a subconscious level, and exactly how to leverage neuroplasticity to change them so that you're not carrying that baggage from what somebody did to you into your present and into your future. It's very healing for self. And of course, it's healing for your future potential relationships of all kinds. That is a free gift. Literally, you get to keep it for life. And I will put the link down below if you want to check it out. I hope this helps. Please, the last thing I want to share with you, do not take this information as, oh my gosh, look, they are hurting. Maybe I should go back to them. If you are thinking of even going back to somebody who's deeply hurt you and who you think is not going to change, or you think has narcissistic personality disorder, do yourself a favor, write out 20 costs of being back with this person, write out 20 benefits of moving on with your life. Record yourself saying them out loud. Listen back every day. Feel about it in your body. Visualize it in your mind. Imagery and emotion, that way it reaches the subconscious. And when you do that and you listen back for at least 21 days, it will literally shift this part of you that wants to keep going and repeating those same patterns. I hope that helps. Please let me know any comments you have down below. Please let me know you are not going to weaponize your empathy against yourself. And thank you for listening. Subscribe to this channel. This was helpful for you, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video too.